Good morning, friends, on Zoom and on YouTube. We'll begin our devotional in just a few moments. Good morning, friends on Facebook. We'll begin our devotional in just a few more moments. Good morning and welcome to our daily devotional from Pilgrim Congregational Church. I'm Patrick Horn. Very glad to have you join us this morning. In preparation for Advent, we are reading Isaiah 64 verses 1 through 9 this week. And this morning, I would like for us to focus on verses 4 and the first half of 5. So Isaiah 64 verses 4 and 5a. And I would like, I'll read from the New Revised Standard Version. From ages past, no one has heard, no ear has perceived, no eye has seen any God besides you, who works for those who wait for him. You meet those who gladly do right, those who remember you in your ways. So remember that this is the prophet speaking at a time when the Israelites have returned to Jerusalem. The temple has been in ruins, and they're perhaps starting the process of rebuilding and trying to rebuild the city. But they're feeling very oppressed and very down. And the prophet exclaims that that there's no ear has perceived, no eye has seen any God besides you. I think the prophet is communicating here that there's a peculiar way in which God communicates with us and in which God is present with us. I've been reading, as some of you know, some of the works of right, who I've been reading, Meister Eckhart, right? And there are a couple of poems that I would like to share with you that I think are very helpful on this point that the prophet is making about how no eye or ear has seen or heard God except this our God. So this is called the inner eye. Are you looking for God using the same eyes you employ to perceive temporal things? That won't work. God is not like colors in the sky. What you see with those old eyes of yours is something else. It is not God. And then another really interesting poem called The Sheep's Eye and Mine. My eye has more in common with a sheep grazing on the far side of the sea, which I have never seen, than it does with my own ears. How can that be, you ask? Well, the sheep's eye shares with mine the capacity to see, which my ear knows nothing about. And hearing is unmoved by light, but the uncreated light alone is what wakes the soul from the darkness of its slumber. So the poet here is emphasizing, I think, like the prophet Isaiah, that we have to rely on the inner eye. And the inner eye, the prophet gives us some clues about what the inner eye depends on. And it is those that God works for those who wait for him. So waiting for God, those who gladly do right. So doing good, loving mercy and justice, and walking humbly. These comprise the inner eye and the inner ear to help us understand the presence of God, and to be open in this season of Advent, to be able to expect God's coming in this Advent season. I think it's important that we orient ourselves in the right way, that we prepare our inner eye, that we prepare our inner ear, because we know it's there that God will speak to us. And that preparation comes through patience, waiting upon God, and working, doing justice, loving those around us and serving them, and giving ourselves for others as Christ did. Let's close with this word of prayer from the 12th century Saint Bernard. This is, as I said, from the 12th century. O Lord, come quickly and reign on thy throne. For now, oft times, something rises up within me and tries to take possession of thy throne. Pride, covetousness, uncleanness, and sloth want to be my kings. And then evil speaking, anger, hatred, and the whole train of vices join with me in warring against myself and try to reign over me. I resist them. I cry out against them and say, I have no other king than Christ. O King of peace, come and reign in me, for I will have no king but thee. Amen. Thank you for joining me this morning for our daily devotional. I'm Patrick Horn from Pilgrim Congregational Church, and hope you have a great day. Goodbye.